Saludos amigos de Se Habla Español en Jacksonville, mi nombre es Kaliana Harris con Se Habla Español, aquí en una edición especial. Hoy celebramos el segundo foro de candidatos en Havana Jacks, donde el público escuchó los candidatos que están en la boleta electoral para las próximas elecciones primarias. Vamos a conocer un poco de los candidatos. Saludos amigos, Kaliana Harris aquí con Se Habla Español en Jacksonville. Tengo a Mia Jones. Mia, what is it that you're running for?
I'm running for tax collector for Duval County.
And what inspired you to run for this position?
Well, I've served in the Jacksonville City Council. I've served in the Florida legislature for 8 years. And for the past 3 years, I've been working in the area of healthcare. And so when the special election came up, I decided to go ahead and throw my name in the hat for tax collector.
And how has the campaigning been so far?
The campaign has gone very well. My background is accounting. I've had an opportunity to build business now. And it's an opportunity for me to take all the experiences that I've had, both political and professional, and put them to use for serving our community.
And have you done anything to engage the Latino vote?
I have. I've had an opportunity over the years to work with the Latino community. I was director of Minority Business Affairs, where I work with a number of Latino businesses. And so this has given me an opportunity to re-engage with them and to be able to share with them and for them to be able to give the recognition of the work that I've already done for them. And so I really appreciate that.
Great. And is anything that you can tell our Hispanic audience to encourage them to go out and vote?
Absolutely. One of the first things that I want to do as tax collector, and it's been brought to my attention more than once, is to make sure that there's translation opportunities within the office. And so that's one of the things that I look forward to being able to do for the community and asking for their help in order to do that.
Anything else you want to tell our audience?
Vote for Mia Jones on November the 6th.
Great. Thank you so much, Mia.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Hola amigos, estoy de vuelta aquí con Tracy Paulson. Tracy es una de las candidatas para las próximas elecciones primarias. Tracy, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm especially well now that that's all over.
I know, right?
Now I can sort of relax and take a deep breath.
Absolutely. Can you tell our audience what inspired you to run for office?
So I'm one of thousands of women who decided to run after the 2016 election. Feeling like we needed more women at the table. We have a very different perspective. Our voices are different. Our perspectives are different. And I felt like I had something to offer as a mental health professional. I'm a clinical social worker and I work with children and families in my practice. I'm the mom of 5 grown children. I'm a breast cancer survivor. I own my own business. And I feel like my life experience, my work experience could be really valuable in Tallahassee.
And Tracy, can you let them know what exactly your platform is?
Yeah, so my top 3 issues, and there are many, but my top 3 issues and what we've been hearing from voters as we have been knocking on doors since November of last year, public education is my number 1 issue. Healthcare, making healthcare affordable and accessible to all families, and also public safety. We have a violence problem here in Jacksonville, and it's something that's really important to me. And last but certainly not least, now more than ever, our environment. Jacksonville is a city surrounded by water, and we need to take care of our environment. We have a hurricane bearing down on the Gulf Coast. Hurricane season's not over, and we need to really take care of our city.
And what have you done, if anything, to engage the Latino vote?
So I have been, like as I mentioned, door knocking in District 15, which is Riverside, Avondale, Ortega, and then it goes all the way out to the west side, including Baldwin. My campaign office is on 103rd Street, right across from where the 7-year-old little girl, Latino girl, was shot and killed in the middle of a gun sale, illegal gun sale gone wrong. And so I actually held a town hall right in that community to speak with citizens in that area, Latinos, African Americans, and people who live in that community to talk about violence and what can be done about violence in our community.
Wow. Really quick, going a little bit off subject, you said you were a breast cancer survivor. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
What was that experience like for you? What advice and can you give those people that are going through that?
I think the first thing I would say is get yearly screenings, talk to your doctor, do not ignore a lump. If you find it from a self-breast exam, pay attention to that and get seen. I was lucky, mine was caught early. I had excellent health care. I did have to fight with my insurance company, but I was really fortunate, and it's been over 5 years and I'm cancer-free.
Wow.
So ladies, take care of yourself. Fellows, help your wives, girlfriends, partners make sure that they're getting their yearly screening. 35 and over, you get a baseline, and then I think it's 40, 45 and over every year. And do monthly breast self-exams.
Thank you for sharing that. Anything else you would like our audience to know?
Vote, vote, vote. This is a very important election. Lots of ways for you to learn about the issues, learn about the candidates, the amendments. This ballot is going to be super long, and so we have time. You can get vote by mail. You can go online for that. The supervisor of elections in Duval, and just vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Good
Tracy.
to see you, Carolina.
Thank you. Hola amigos de Habla Español, aquí estoy con Aaron Bean, otro de los candidatos para las elecciones de las primarias ahora que van a estar sucediendo. Aaron, what inspired you to run for office?
You know what, Carly? I've always been somebody that's been addicted to public service. So I've been in the Senate since 2012. I'm running for the Florida Senate, and it's just a great honor to serve the citizens of Northeast Florida and Jacksonville.
And what's your platform?
Well, you know, it's continuing on serving the citizens of Jacksonville and Northeast Florida, listening, being involved, working for the people.
That's awesome. And have you done anything to engage the Latino vote?
You know, being here is a big deal, and helping. I'm actually one of the sponsors of the whole forum, and working with the Jimenez Law Firm and Thomas Jr., Thomas Sr. It is a great venue, and for people watching this, next time they need to come down to Havana Jacks, because it's a rocking time right now. You know, the Latino community is literally flexing their muscle to say we will be listened to, and I think they have the forum tonight to do just that.
That's right. And how has your campaigning been so far?
You know what? It's a changing environment. There's with social media and others, there's a lot of involvement. Almost anybody can have their say. We've been out speaking to anybody that'll have us almost. So we're excited that as of today, there's only 28 days left.
Wow, it's coming to an end.
That's right.
Slowly but surely. Any words that you can give our audience to encourage them to go out and vote?
Thank you, Carly. It's Aaron Bean. I'm running for the Florida Senate. You can vote anytime between October 22nd, which is when early voting starts. Election day is November 6th. Aaron Bean for the Florida Senate.
Thank you,
Carly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ahora estamos aquí con Billy Buzard. Billy, can you tell our Hispanic audience here in Jacksonville what it is that you're running for?
I'm running for Florida Senate, District 4.
And what inspired you to run?
Well, the Parkland shooting really was the thing that was a tipping point for me, and the failure of the legislature to adequately address hardening the schools and school safety. And my opponent started talking about that in 2013. The legislature has had plenty of opportunity to address that with all the terrible things that have been going on in schools across the country. They haven't. And when I saw that nobody had stepped up to challenge him, with my background as a journalist and all my years of experience, I felt like I had something to offer the people.
And what have you done, if anything, to engage the Latino vote?
Well, at this point, I jumped into the race so very late. It was late June. So I haven't had a lot of interface. I have worked with several of the leaders in the Hispanic community, Mario de Cunta. I have a button machine. I'm famous for making buttons, and I've made buttons for various events he had. I will tell you that I sponsored a gal from Dominican Republic. She lived with me for 4.5 years while she was going to UNF, and she got her degree in engineering and actually graduated at the head of a class. I've had a Hispanic doctor, or my personal doctor, for more than 10 years, and one of the women who helped me organize the Women's March, the first Women's March in 2017. She's a Hispanic lady, and I have a couple of volunteers who are also Hispanic. But I haven't, I am new to politics. I mean, this is the first time I've ever run. I am 73 years old. Come on.
You look great.
Thank you. Well, I hope I hold up. No, I'm doing just fine, really. It's a lot of work, but it has been very rewarding, and I think I'm going to be the November surprise.
Awesome. How has the campaigning been for you?
Campaigning has been very interesting. It's nonstop. And I am so humbled by all the people who have given me money that I didn't even know. I mean, there is anger out there about a lot of things. One of the things people are angry about is the human misery industries that are popped up because Florida has failed the people. And people in Florida are hurting. On my website, I list, on the homepage, I have a list of all of the terrible rankings that Florida has earned over the last 20 years since the Republicans have been in control. And, you cannot have a healthy economy, a safe society, if people don't have good health care, and they have refused to accept the money so that people can be healthy. It's counterintuitive, because if you don't have healthy workers, you don't have productive workers. If you have children coming to school with toothaches or some sort of pain, they're not going to do well in school. So, we have to address health care. To me, that is the number one issue. And then schools as well, but also gaining control of the epidemic of gun violence and coming up with some solutions to that. I have very specific ideas on my website, including heavily taxing bullets, as I mentioned at the forum tonight. And I don't see why guns shouldn't be subject to liability insurance, just like automobiles are. As you may know, in New York, there was a tragic accident where 20 people were killed in a limousine that was not licensed properly. The driver didn't have license properly. So, any kind of vehicle or machinery that can kill has to be regulated, as much as the NRA and a lot of these candidates who get NRA support object. It has to be done for the safety of all of us. After all, government was established to provide for the general welfare, or to promote the general welfare. And if we're not doing that, then our government is failing all of us.
Any encouraging words for our audience to get them out to vote?
I think this is probably the most important election of my lifetime, and I'm 73 years old. How you vote will determine the direction of this country. I am very upset what has been going on in Washington, and I think if we don't make a change, and if we don't do something to make sure that there's more equity in this country, like I said in the forum, we're going to be the biggest banana republic in this whole planet.
Billy, thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you.
Amigos, estamos de vuelta aquí en Se Habla Español. Caliana Harris con Wyman Duggan. Wyman, how are you feeling this afternoon?
I'm feeling great, and mucho gusto.
Oh, you speak Spanish?
Un poco y muy lentamente.
Oh, but that's pretty good. Where'd you learn that?
I took it for 12 years, and all the way from K through 12.
Nice, okay, so you're good. Maybe we should do this in Spanish. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Can you let our Hispanic audience what your platform is?
Absolutely. So I'm running for House District 15 in the Florida House of Representatives. And what I want to do is continue to pursue the regulatory and governmental and legal regime that has made Florida so successful over the last 20 years to create more opportunities for small business creation, for high-wage jobs, for excellence in education for all of our students, including all kinds of educational choice opportunities. We should not be a one-size-fits-all. I'd like to see more vocational and technical training brought back into our junior high and high schools so that kids who perhaps aren't ready to go to college right out of high school can get a skill, get a job, have a career path, and then when they're ready perhaps to go to higher education, they'll have hopefully a nest egg so they won't have to take out some crushing debt to get that higher education. So it's really about an opportunity, a culture of opportunity for all Floridians.
And what inspired you to run for office?
Well, I've lived in House District 15 since 1995, raised 3 kids who've been in the public schools that whole time, and I want them to come back to Northeast Florida, to our beautiful city, and raise their family here. And I want them to be, feel like they want to be excited to come back to Jacksonville. And that culture of opportunity is only ever one election away from being lost. And so I felt like I needed to do my part to make sure that it was going to be there for them and there for all of us.
And what have you done, if anything, to engage the Latino vote?
Well, this has been a fantastic opportunity, this forum. I was in the forum that the Jimenez's put on in the primary, in this event as well. I've had great outreach with Leon Torero and the Jimenez's and others in the Hispanic community here. They have shared with me their vision, their concerns. I've taken that to heart. I think we share the same values, and so you certainly have my commitment to serve you in the Florida legislature.
How has your campaigning been so far?
It's been great. So we had a 3-way primary, and I won that. Beat 2 other candidates. We're now in a contested general election. I'm certainly not taking anything for granted, but the response has been great from the voters. And on their doorsteps, you ask them, what do you want to hear? What do you want to see? And that's been my favorite part of the campaign, is to talking to the people.
Any words for our audience to encourage them to go out and vote? Absolutely.
That's your most precious right. Don't take anything for granted. Many of you probably came here from regimes or environments where that was not to be taken for granted. And so educate yourselves on the issues, find the people who support your values, and get out there and vote.
Thank you, Ian.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hola, ahora estoy aquí con Jason Fisher. Jason, can you let our Hispanic audience know what your platform is?
Hi, thank you for having me here today. So my name's Jason Fisher, State Representative, District 16. I ran for the House of Representatives the first go-around because I care about people. And that means that I focused on policies to make our streets safer, to make sure that our kids can get an excellent education, and also focus on environmental quality, making sure that we have clean drinking water, clean air to breathe, things like that.
Okay. And what have you done to outreach the Hispanic community to get their vote?
Well, so I would say that I focused on upward mobility. My family are a family of immigrants. My family immigrated here from Germany and from Venezuela. So, they were escaping socialism, trying to come to a country where there was freedom and opportunity. My wife is an immigrant as well. She's actually from Singapore, and so immigration is a big part of our story. And immigrants tend to be faced oftentimes with not as many job opportunities, kind of low income, and sometimes there's a language barrier. And so what I focus on is making sure that there are rungs in the ladder of economic opportunity for everybody, not just at the top, but from at the bottom. And I've tried to make sure that in our school system that our kids are taught multiple languages, so they're able to not just learn English, but they're able to learn Spanish, they're able to learn Chinese, and that also gives a sense of community there as well. So it's kind of a holistic approach.
How has your campaigning been so far?
How's the campaigning been?
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's exciting time. Yeah, there's a lot of interest because of the national politics that are going on. And so every election cycle is a little different. I was an elected school board member before I came to the state legislature. And so the issues are a little different, but it's just really exciting and fun. I enjoy meeting with people and doing things like this. This is better than like asking for money or anything like that. Yeah. Asking for votes meeting people, asking them about the issues that animate them, that's where I really find joy.
You said, I was listening to you there, you said that you're a first generation college student.
Yeah.
What advice can you give individuals who, like you, are in that, they're the first in their family?
Work hard. I mean, that's what my parents really instilled in me, is working hard. So when I was going through high school and things like that, I had no idea I was going to be an electrical engineer, but I could work hard, and I was a little smart, But I went to college. I didn't do the trades crafts like my brothers did. I chose the college path, and I worked 40 hours a week doing sales at Citibank, and I did 15 credit hours a semester at engineering school. And I worked harder than everyone else around me. That's I think the key difference. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any political connections. I didn't have any corporate connections. I just worked really, really hard and was able to achieve some success. And my brothers have done similar things in their trade craft, working harder than the other people around them. So that's the one big thing I would say. In America, there's a lot of opportunity. You just got to get up and go after it.
That's right. Any encouraging words for our viewers so that they can go out and vote?
So the election is on November 6th, and so I think today was the last day to register. So if you've not registered, at least in the Jacksonville area, I don't think there's going to be another opportunity to register. But go to the Supervisor of Elections website, look at where their voting locations are. I would suggest, if you haven't done a vote by mail, to do an early vote. Just don't worry about how the rain's going to be on election day or the weather. Get out early and vote, get it done with. And so that way you don't have to worry about the last minute. And I think that's a challenge sometimes to voting, is kind of waiting until the last minute. So get out and vote early.
Anything else you would like to tell our audience?
Well, if you would like to support my campaign, I would really appreciate your help and support. Our website is jasonforflorida.com. That's Jason, F-O-R, Florida spelled out.com. I am the Republican candidate in the race, but I'm running in this race to represent everybody in our community because, like I started off from the beginning, I got in politics because I care about people. I care about you. I care about your family. I care about your kids and your grandkids. I want to fight for us in our community. My name's Jason Fisher, running for State House District 16, and I want your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Estamos aquí con Ken Organes. Ken, how are you feeling this afternoon?
I'm feeling great, and I'm just so happy to be included in this candidate forum where basically all the local candidates in Jacksonville were in one place. And I credit Tomas Jimenez and the Jimenez Law Firm for doing this wonderful civic service.
Can you let our audience know what inspired you to run for office?
Well, it's funny you should ask that because I was retired and I was leading the good life. I was making toys for my granddaughter. I was reading, I was traveling. But the events over the last couple of years have disturbed me and concerned me. And then I started getting interested in state politics. And I discovered that the legislature, the current legislature we have now, is totally unresponsive to Floridians, to the people of Florida, the typical people of Florida. I decided I needed to do something about that, so I jumped into the race, and here I am.
And what is your platform?
My number one priority is safe and well-funded public schools. And people tell me that that's difficult, that's going to be hard. No. Putting a person on Mars is hard. Curing cancer is difficult. Making our schools safer, that just requires political will. That's going to be my number one priority. I'm for a sustainable and clean environment, not only because I want my granddaughter to enjoy the Florida that I enjoy, but because it's an economic issue. Tourism is our number one business in Florida. Governor Scott issued a notice back in the late spring saying that there was a health hazard for people visiting South Florida, and he issued it not only to residents but tourists. It made international news. I'm for fairness and equality for everyone. And here again, it's not only because it's the right thing to do, it's an economic imperative. I was to a conference called Equality Means Business, and a lot of the human resource directors in our area were complaining because Jacksonville is not perceived to be open to people from all different backgrounds in every case. That's hurting their recruiting. I'm for access to women's reproductive care. And I know some people disagree with me on this, but let me just state, I think that the difficult decisions that need to be made should be between a woman, her doctor, her family, and God, period. The government should not be involved.
And what have you done to engage the Latino vote?
Well, I have reached out to some members of the Latino community who have embraced me and taught me things. I've learned that the Latino community is not just one big block group. And I've learned this from listening, that the largest single component of the Latino community here in North Florida is the Puerto Rican community. Well, the Puerto Rican community is concerned with healing and rebuilding their island. 3,000 people died there. We did a terrible job helping Puerto Rico in the aftermath of Maria. We need to make that right. Mexican Americans, the second largest community in North Florida. Mexican Americans are concerned with a path to citizenship, and especially with protecting the rights of the DACA children who came forward voluntarily, gave their contact information, were told that they would have a path to citizenship, and now that seems to potentially be going away. People coming here from Central America, refugees. Being a political refugee is not a crime. These people are trying to escape dangerous situations for their families. They're coming to the United States because the United States is the beacon of hope for the world. They're not committing crimes. They need to be treated fairly, and they need to be treated humanely. And finally, economic issues affect everyone. And as I said a few moments ago, if the Hispanic community is feeling the economic pinch, most Floridians are feeling the economic pinch, that the so-called boom economy is passing us by, the average people of Florida, and that's because the real income adjusted for inflation has decreased 7% in the last 10 years.
Anything else you'd like our audience to know, Ken?
Well, I'd like your audience to know that I am not a professional politician. I came out of retirement because I didn't like the direction our country was going. I didn't like the direction our state was going, and my campaign is based on listening. I've been campaigning, I've been listening, I've been hearing the concerns of the people in Northeast Florida in my district, and I'll tell you the number one concerns are school safety, affordable health care, and education. And as your representative, that's what my focus will be on.
Ken, thank you so much.
Thank you again for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Amigos, ahora estoy aquí con Jess Selman. Jess, how are you feeling this afternoon?
I'm absolutely thrilled. We have had an incredible day of campaigning. We started off first thing this morning on Melissa Ross's radio show, and then we ended up here at the Hispanic Forum, and it's been wonderful.
How has the campaigning been for you?
It's been great. You know, we have met so many people around Jacksonville and the First Coast. We have done, I believe, 151 events in 180 days.
Wow. You're a busy guy.
Yes, yeah, we are. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Can you let our audience know what your platform is and what you're running for?
Sure. I'm your candidate in the 4th District here for United States Congress. I'm running against the incumbent, John Rutherford. The 4th District, if you're not sure, it's all of Nassau County. It's half of Duval, like the beaches, and then it's St. Johns County. It's 735,000 people. It's a couple of military bases. It's urban areas, it's suburban areas, and it's even farms.
What inspired you to run for office?
I think, like a lot of people here, the conduct of the president, his lack of decorum, his insults have really made a lot of people be energized. And certainly, my wife is a first-generation American. Her parents are both immigrants. And the crisis at the border is something that has moved a lot of people to action. America's a shining city on a hill. It's a place people aspire to. It's not a place where we punish people who are trying to improve their lives, and that's what's been going on right now. And we need to fund fully immigration courts so we can hear asylum cases of people who are fleeing desperate situations, and we need to we need to pass legislation to recognize DACA, to recognize our dreamers and acknowledge that they are American citizens.
And just what have you done to reach that Latino vote?
Well, we've done a number of things. The first thing is that we have attended Hispanic caucus meetings, and that is where there's really a brain trust of Hispanic professionals coming together and strategizing. And it's really learning from Mario and his crew about how to get the message out, what the communication networks are, the Facebook pages people use, obviously the restaurants where we congregate. And it's been so great to have been here for a number of occasions at Cuba Libre.
So if you win, what will your first year look like?
First year, I really think that we need some bipartisanship in Congress. The first thing we need to do is agree that on the subject of health care, asthma is a pre-existing condition, and that's got to be covered, for example. When you're looking at drug costs, an EpiPen that saves a child's life from a peanut allergy or from a bee sting can't cost $600. And I don't see why Republicans and Democrats in the House can't get together on that. So working for compromise in the first term is what's extremely important to me.
What will you say to our audience to encourage them to go out and vote?
This is an incredible opportunity for the people of Jacksonville. For many years, we've had a Republican in the 4th District and a Democrat, Al Lawson right now, previously Corrine Brown, in the 5th District. This is an opportunity to have 2 Democratic congresspeople serving Jacksonville. And to break that stalemate, we'd have the power to bring so many opportunities home to the First Coast. So it's really a revolutionary opportunity for people this year to come out and vote.
Anything else you want our audience to know about Jess?
I'm married, I have 2 kids, I've lived in Ponte Vedra for a decade, and I'm just really honored at the opportunity to serve my community.
Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you.
Hola amigos, ahora estoy aquí con Melwin Nieves, el propietario de Indecorate. Él ha sido el organizador de toda la decoración del evento de hoy. Melwin, ¿cómo te sientes en el día de hoy?
Pues mira, Caliana, sumamente agradecido con Jiménez por la oportunidad de ser parte de este gran evento para la comunidad hispana, y de verdad que ha sido una experiencia inolvidable y un evento que no esperaba que pudiera ser parte de ello.
Y la decoración te quedó bella.
Gracias.
Quiero decirte eso. ¿Cuáles son los planes para Indecorate?
Pues Indecorate tiene unos planes muy extensos. Nosotros queremos trabajar con la comunidad latina. Queremos traer eventos públicos y festivales que proyecten cultura y que nos traigan esas vivencias que hemos tenido en nuestros países, tanto como Puerto Rico y los otros países como Cuba, República Dominicana, Colombia y los demás países que ¿verdad?, representan la cultura hispana.
¿Y cómo se pueden comunicar las personas si quieren que tú vayas a decorarle cualquier evento?
Pues mira, tenemos de todo tipo de servicios para un evento, desde la decoración hasta el catering, tenemos publicidad también, tenemos eventos corporativos, así que si usted necesita algo, solamente nos das una llamada al 216-356-2449 y allí gustosamente le contestaré. Si no le contesto, un mensaje de texto es bien recibido y un mensaje de voz también. Así que esperemos mucho más de Indecorate Event que viene ya pronto.
Melwin, muchas gracias y mucho éxito.
Gracias a ti, Caliana.
Hola amigos, ahora estoy aquí con Tomás Jiménez, el organizador del evento de esta tarde. Tomás, ¿cómo te sientes después de este segundo evento que han organizado?
Muy contento, de verdad, tuvimos un gran éxito esta noche y bueno, muy alegre de tener toda la gente que vino de la comunidad para estar presente para este evento.
¿Y continuarás haciendo eventos como este?
Sí, ese es el plan. El plan es para tener uno ahora en el 2019 para los candidatos que están aspirando para ser, el alcalde, el sheriff y también la comisión City Council también. Y después para el 2020 también, para la presidencial.
¿Y qué esperas obtener de la comunidad en el futuro?
Bueno, que siguen involucrados en este proceso, que siguen viniendo a los eventos, que ejercen su derecho y su deber de votar y que siguen activos en lo que es estos tipos de eventos y votar.
¿Algo más que le quieras dejar saber a la comunidad?
Muchas gracias por haber estado aquí. Para los que no vinieron, los invitamos para que vengan la próxima vez. Le damos también gracias a los que nos han ayudado en esto, como la Cámara de Comercio, también Decorate Events también, que nos ayudó cantidad en hacer la parte de decoraciones, que quedó muy bien, muy bueno, mejor que la última vez estaba muy bien, pero esta quedó excelente, y gracias a ustedes por estar aquí con nosotros para dar la cobertura y ayudar en que la comunidad conozca de nuestros eventos y las cosas que están pasando en esta comunidad.
Muchas gracias, Tomás.
Gracias.